listening to the Blue Jay Breakdown.
We're back with another episode of Blue Jay Breakdown. On the men's side of things, the Creighton Blue Jays went 2-0 since the last we talked, or last week. Seton Hall was not close. And then a Marquette win on senior day is a top 5 opponent, I guess.
Yeah, I guess considering
they were
who was
ranked
available.
5th. Marquette was ranked 5th.
Yeah.
They didn't play everybody, but they were ranked 5th.
Yeah. But it was a really good stretch to kind of finish off the home schedule and bouncing back from the loss to St. John's and knowing what happened the first game with Seton Hall,
right?
With that triple overtime.
Weird.
Yeah, Creighton talked about just how they felt after the Butler game and losing that one, and how fired up they were coming back in round 2, and what they're able to accomplish in that game. So they expected a really fired up Seton Hall team, and they just dismantled them.
Nice. Yeah.
They executed their game plan really well, got contributions from a bunch of different players, and they went on a 24-7 run in the first half to open up a 20-point lead. And key during that run was Isaac Trout, knocked down back-to-back threes. Then Stephen Ashworth knocked one down after a Jason Green offensive rebound. After that, for a quick little 9-0 spurt that really kind of broke that game open there. And that was big. Isaac Trout finished with 11 points, hit all 3 of his threes, hit a couple of free throws, had a couple of good defensive plays. And, because he's in a tough spot. Changing roles mid-season, you're getting a couple minutes here and there. Maybe you'll get a shot, maybe you won't. It's kind of hard to get into a rhythm that way as a shooter. But he's continued to get better. I think he's gotten more comfortable. He's understood what he needs to do at that spot in this system, and was played a key role in this game, not being close. And so it was good to see him kind of the work rewarded there. Got some shots, they ran some plays for him, and he knocked it down. So that was probably the highlight there, in addition to what the kind of the stars did. They all shined. I think the difference in the game was Creighton shot 13 of 32 from 3 and held Seton Hall at 2 of 9.
Right.
That math is just not going to work out for you if you're the Pirates.
Right.
So that just speaks to the defensive execution on Creighton's part. But Ryan Kalkbrenner, 10 of 10 from the field. Pretty good.
Pretty good day.
23 points, 6 boards, 4 blocks. Baylor Scheierman, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, went 6 of 10 from 3.
Unbelievable.
And then Trey Alexander, career high 10 assists to go with 15 points, plus 5 boards, 3 steals. So he was terrific as well. And then kind of all those same guys were fantastic in the finale against Marquette.
Baylor was.
Yeah. So we knew Tyler Kolek would probably not play based on the injury that oblique injury. They didn't really give us details, but kind of expected him not to play. And they since announced that he'll miss the rest of the regular season for them and will be reevaluated for the tournament. But kind of surprised, like an hour before tip-off, found out that Oso Godaro was also not going to play because of an illness. He wasn't even in the arena. They kept him back at the hotel. So those are basically their 2 best players, their 2 best playmakers, and everything that they've built their system around. So completely different team. You don't kind of know what to expect. And McDermott talked about going in how it was going to have to be a thing where they kind of adjusted on the fly and figured it out. And Creighton did kind of struggle to defend them early on. They had a good game plan that really went 5 out. Their bigs were able to kind of attack off the dribble or shoot threes, although Ben Gold didn't shoot them well. He just took a lot of them. But it did kind of compromise Creighton's defense. They got beat to the basket too easily early on. Made it tough to kind of lock in on Cam Jones, who was their other best player, who was healthy. He had 15 in the first half. But Creighton really settled in. They kind of figured things out in the second half and just went on. They actually had a couple chances to break the game open and just couldn't knock down shots. And Marquette battled back into it. And then finally in the second half, it was 69-67, Creighton up. And then, bam, ball game was over. It went on a 16-3 run, including 4 straight threes, 3 of them from Baylor Scheierman, 1 of them from Francisco Farabello. And that was ball game at that point. So
they shot 55% in the second half.
Shot 54 for the game overall.
Incredible.
Yeah, 50,
and you're
40,
40%
80,
from 3. You're you're winning.
Yeah, it was fantastic offensive performance. And again, the cool thing was senior day for Francisco Farabello, for Baylor Scheierman, and those guys were spectacular. Scheierman, 26 points, 16 rebounds, which is as high as a Blue Jay. His career high is 18 at South Dakota State. 26 points was one below his Creighton career high of 27, and he went 6 of 12 from three. And so he became. Think about this: like Creighton's had Doug McDermott, Ethan Wragge, Kyle Korver, Mitchell Balak. Like they've had some of the best shooters in college basketball that came through college basketball in the last handful of years. And he did something none of them have ever done: is back-to-back games with 6 made threes, and earned Big East Player of the Week as a result of kind of his overall production there. I kind of put together a Twitter thread on all 12 of his threes, so go check that out on _, if you want a little bit more on that. But he was fantastic. And then Farabello, 12 points, didn't miss a shot. He came out, he was aggressive. He's looking for a shot early on, was not hesitant, which he's been at times to take shots. He just let it fly, made all 5 of his shots, 12 points, just the second double-digit scoring game of the season, just third as a Blue Jay. So he was fantastic. And for him to knock down that one during that run, Baylor hit a couple, and then he got one from the right corner. That was a huge play in the game. And Mac talked about it. He's sitting there over the bench just like saying to himself, come on, go in. Just wanting it for him to have that moment on senior day for a guy that's come in and given so much to this program without a lot of fanfare. Obviously never been a big production guy, never started a game, but everybody on that team really values what he's brought to this program over the last couple of years. And I think Baylor's become one of the best transfers, that arguably the best transfer. Like you toss him up there with Maurice Watson, Marcus Foster. Those are like some of the names you can put him up there with what he's done this year in his second year, and choosing to come back for this season. He said the best decision he could have ever made. And I'm sure Creighton fans agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like they feel pretty good about that, right?
Yeah. Kalkbrenner could be his last game as well. He's Baylor and Farabello are done. Yeah. Kalkbrenner
Baylor's
has another
done
year
with eligibility, finally.
Finally. Kalkbrenner, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 blocks. Final play of the game was blocking a shot. And then they called the timeout to sub all the guys out. So it was kind of fitting end there, kind of put that final play out there. And then Trey Alexander, who just a junior, didn't go through senior day ceremony because they don't have underclassmen do it. But that could have been his, and probably is his last game at CHI as well. And so he had 10 assists last game.
We can talk about this at a different time, but just imagine if everyone comes back.
Yeah, we'll see kind of what happens in the postseason here and what kind of run.
Kalkbrenner, Alexander, Miller, Ashworth. Then you have Green, Trout, Lawson, Dolzer, King.
Yeah, some pretty good young kids coming in too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're feeling pretty good. like feel pretty good.
But like, even if they don't, like Trey Alexander, 18 points, 11 assists, so back-to-back, 21 assists and 6 turnovers in the last 2 games here. Just phenomenal performance for him again, setting guys up. So really, if that was the last game for those 4, we know it is for 2. The other 2 up in the air have decisions to make. But I think Stephen Ashworth chose not to participate in the senior day ceremony. Said he hasn't made his final decision yet. Obviously, if things change or whatever, like he could decide not to. But it seemed all signs point to him coming back next year, which I think was kind of the plan to begin with. So no surprise there. But if that was it for those last 4, heck of a final memory to close it out. So it's always cool when it doesn't always happen when you kind of get the storybook ending, the perfect ending. But these guys certainly got that with such a big win against a big opponent, regardless of them missing guys. Like they put up a fight and they played really well.
Now they go to Villanova.
Close the season out.
The key thing there is it is at Wells Fargo Center, not on campus. So that helps.
Yes.
A little easier place to play.
And it's an important game because talked about Marquette, Kolek being out.
Right.
Creighton is half a game back of Marquette in the standings. They've got 2 left here. And if Creighton beats Villanova and UConn beats Marquette, That's one of their 2 games remaining.
Likely.
So Creighton's got a really good chance at a 2 seed right now. They're going to be the 2 or the 3. Right. With this win, that's basically what they've secured. Is they're going to be the 2 or they're going to be the 3.
Right.
So either way, they're going to be opposite each other. Opposite of UConn. So that's the important thing. They've secured themselves in the half of the bracket that you would want to be in. So a big win, and now they've got a chance to again just. They're on the 3 seed line right now. I think, depending, like Marquette's also on the 3 seed line. Right. So if Marquette drops 2, Creighton wins here and then wins a couple good ones, jump up towards the top end of that. 2 seed would be tough unless the teams ahead of them just kind of really stumble. But they've still got a lot to play for in terms of seeding.
Being a 3.
And so they can really firmly establish themselves in that, get a chance to get sent to a decent location for their postseason.
Not too far away.
Yeah. So that's.
It won't be Omaha.
Correct. Yep. Not going home, but would be nice to.
That would be great.
Not be sent to like Spokane or something like that.
It's not that bad. Never been there, but I hear it's not that
Never
bad.
been. Well, yeah, I guess you do know some people that have been out there.
Live there.
But yeah, that game against Villanova is going to be tough because they're going to be fighting for their lives.
Memphis is a drive too.
Yes.
Yeah. For people. Yeah.
But Marquette's very firmly in the bubble. Like basically every Big East team outside of the top 3 is, and then outside of Georgetown and DePaul, obviously. So we know they've been a tough matchup before with the way that Eric Dixon has played in the last couple of meetings. Creighton had Villanova beat at home and then just fell apart offensively. Scored 4 points in the last 10 minutes. So we know they're capable of winning that game, being in control of that game. It's just you got to put together 40 minutes. And it's going to be a little bit tougher when you don't have the crowd behind you at home to kind of give you that support and push you forward. So this will be a tough test for them. But it's a game right now. KenPom's got it basically as a toss-up. They've got Creighton 51% chance to win. They've got final score up by 1. So it truly is kind of a toss-up game here.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. Obviously they feel like they need to win that one. So pretty big win to win that one.
And they've got a whole week to prepare, to rest, to recuperate, to game plan. They haven't, for whatever reason, their performance after some of these the few layoffs they've had this season hasn't been great. So they're going to have to figure out how to prevent that from happening again. But I think if you're a Creighton fan, you're feeling really good about the way the team is playing right now. Mm-hmm. Starting to see a little bit from the bench guys with Isaac, with Jason Green, what he's become, and now that he's part of the rotation with Farabello with that last game. So it's not just those 4 guys. You're starting to get a little bit more depth. Mason Miller's hit a few threes the last few games. So I think you feel good about where this team is heading into the postseason here. So the only thing that can spoil that is a bad performance here in the regular season finale.
Right. All right, that'll do it for Blue Jay Breakdown on the men's side of things.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.